Welcome to Goshen News Network, or GNN. Hope you're ready for a solid year of a good class, hopefully. Some things, just an overview of the class, some things that we will be doing are putting out a couple episodes every week. We will also be managing the social media accounts for GNN, including our Instagram, our Facebook, and occasionally Snapchat. We are also in charge of running the televisions. So when you walk around the building, the TVs in the auditorium or in the hallway, we update those regularly. We also do a lot of special projects for example, Mr. Anabnet, the principal from last year, we did the newsletter for him. We've also done a number of projects for Mr. Edwards, who is the College and Career Readiness Counselor. So anything that's basically handed to us, we will do. Depending on how the dynamic of the class, we've done full group years where we all work together on the same things where we break off. And we've also split up into two groups, and we've done a couple episodes a week that way. Some of the expectations for the class are pretty much the expectations for any of your classes. I expect you to show up on time. I expect you to become prepared, not let anyone down. If you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. Some other things that you're going to need to do, though, that are more unique, I think, for this class is you are required to have a great amount of self-discipline. If self-discipline is not for you, if you cannot be driven, if you cannot monitor your own self, this is definitely at the beginning of the year a good time to go ahead and drop the class, because this class is not going to work out for you. Also, teamwork is a huge expectation. You'll be working with a variety of people. I do not want you to get hung up on working with the same person again and again. You really need to be able to create a relationship with everybody else in the classroom. At the beginning of the year, I would expect that everybody try everything from editing to being on camera to doing camera work to running the social media. And then as the year progresses, if you are interested in kind of going off onto one, you feel more comfortable in the editing realm, you can stay in that realm and do a lot of our editing. The way we do things is we typically have you create a checklist for yourself for the month, and then you will achieve those things on your checklist. You and I will sit down and decide if the checklist is good enough, considering everything that's coming up, and that we're covering everything, including all special events. And then we might need to make adjustments to the checklist as the month goes on. But really, anything is assigned to you, you are expected to do. One thing that I really don't enjoy at the end of the year, I'm discussing this right now because it irritates me right at this moment, but I'm saying it for the beginning of the year. If I catch you playing games or doing things that are off topic, you're going to be hit on that with the grade. And again, if that's more what you're inclined to do, look, we can do this class with just 5 people if that's what we need to do. I would rather it be a very, very small class than have a bunch of people in here who are not willing to do the work. So if you have even the inkling that you're going to want to do games or something like that instead of getting your work done, I need you to drop the class right now. So something additional that I want everybody to think about is that you get a lot of leeway in this class. You are permitted to leave the class unchaperoned. You are permitted to sometimes go outside and do things. That with that great, benefit comes, the expectation that you are behaving yourself in all circumstances. If there's ever a report of you not being appropriate or being out of control, you will be asked to leave the class. Even if it's through halfway through the quarter, you'll be asked to leave, because we cannot, all it takes is one person making one bad mistake for this to ruin it for everybody. You are absolutely required to have some kind of device or an email or something that we can communicate with you outside of class hours. If you are not willing to do that, here's another example. I will have the drop sheets that you can fill out. You must drop the class because it's just not going to work out. We have, there's so many times, especially because I'm only here bells 5, 6, and 7, that we cannot communicate about in class. I just emailed or sent a message earlier today because I knew some people I wasn't going to see that they had to respond to, which I appreciate them doing. But that is not asking too much. And again, if you cannot do that, then you need to we'll part ways at this time. Yeah, I really hope you have a great year. I mean, I know I'm coming on really strong right now, but we need to make sure we set the expectation that you're in it to win it and that you're doing a great job and you're learning a lot. We can teach you, we being the other students and me or Mr. Suggle coming in, we can teach you anything. I cannot teach you being motivated. So make sure you come in every day motivated to learn.
My advice to you GNNers is always make sure to stay on Miss Slagel's good side and do what you say you're going to do, but don't overschedule yourself on those checklists.
So one piece of advice I like to give the new GNN members is remember to always be cooperative and always remember that everybody has needs in this class and we all have to work together to fulfill those needs as much as possible for each other in order to create a great class and then create a great channel for a news outlet for everybody in Goshen High School to use.
Some advice I have for new GNN members is always keep track of your footage and clean the cameras when you're done using footage you don't need. It's very important, so that way the cameras load faster.
My advice would probably be don't make Miss Slagle angry. Have good footing with everybody. Try to listen to everybody's ideas. Just try to get to know everyone really well, and you'll probably have a better year just knowing more people.
My advice I would give to all of you newcomers at GNN is that don't be afraid to try anything. If you have an idea, share it with the class, go for it. And if you need help, I myself will help you along the way, and I'm pretty sure other people in the class will help you as well.
Hi, future GNN. Some advice I have for you is to not procrastinate and edit each episode the day before they're due. That's a bad thing. You should try to get everything beforehand and finish it up, so it's nice and good.
Definitely one thing you should do is just stay positive no matter what you're doing. And sometimes the technology is going to be messing up and you're just going to have to work with it. Don't get mad at the technology. Just do whatever you can to help it or just deal with it. Sometimes whenever you're editing, something might go wrong. Don't freak out. Just think about what could have happened and then try to fix it. Or if something gets deleted and you have to record it again, just do it the same way you did last time. Don't do it any differently. Just do whatever you feel like you need to be doing.
What I wish I would have known before entering GNN is when you intend to start a project, maybe start that project 10 days before you think you should. So
my advice would be not to give up on something, even if you might be having a hard or rough time doing something in GNN, like editing, recording in front of the camera. I had issues recording in front of the camera at the beginning of the year that prohibited me from actually being on camera for a while. And I just say don't give up on that, because you might actually end up liking it, and I did. I really enjoyed GNN. It's probably my favorite class of the day, actually, because I get to see my friends and do things that I love, like editing and talking about nerdy, geeky things, or talking about pets or animals, and it's just great. I love it.
GNN is a really fun class. I've been a member for the past 2 years. I reported on college and professional sports for those 2 years, as well as doing other things like doing the TVs in the lunchroom and in the commons area. I would just say, if I were to give you guys some advice for next year, take advantage of time while you have it. Don't procrastinate. This goes for all classes, not just GNN, but don't procrastinate and do your work in class, because it's so much easier to do it in class than at home.
So my piece of advice is that being on camera, it's not as scary as you seem, because like I do the sports and I was scared to do it at first because I didn't want people to like watch me, but it's not even that bad and you'll get used to it.
Welcome to the class!